Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Richmond vs Hawthorn game, in which Richmond just weren't up for the task against Hawthorn. They just ended up getting smoked, was it 97-49, so in the end it was a 48-point victory for the Hawthorn Hawks over Richmond, and yeah, they just dominated the game, to be honest, did the Hawks, and it was all on the back of James Sicily going nuts. I think he had, looking at it here, 33 touches, 15 marks for 880 metres gained, which is quite ridiculous. A lot more than any of the Richmond players had. So anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this recap. So Tim Taranto here, 127, 139. Oopsie, that is not what I wanted. I forgot that this website doesn't do the quarterback quarter splits. But yeah, Tim Taranto, 127, 139. He was pretty amazing throughout the day. He did have that chinana, as whatever they want to call it. I think that was was that the third quarter that he kicked it? It was either the third or the first. I think it was the third quarter that he kicked his goal. Let me just double check that. 1 second here. Where is he? Where is... 1 second, I'll grab it up on the full-time thing. Here we go. He kicked it in the first quarter, actually. I knew it was either first or third. I thought it was first, but I thought it was third, but it was first quarter. Tim Taranto, 127, 139. He was amazing throughout the day, as I said. Nick Vloston, 114, 17, 6, 9, and 6. He was pretty big as well. I just want to bring up the kickouts for you guys, just to tell you who was involved in those. Kick-ins, play-ons, not that one. Kick-in, play-on, so you had, for Richmond at least, you had Short, Broad, Rioli, Vloston that were doing it. 5 to Short and 2 to the rest. So Vloston did have 2 kickouts. Jane Short, as I said, had 5, 100 points, 25 touches, 7 marks. I think that is a sustainable scoreline for him. I don't think he's going to be amazing. I don't think he's going to be top of the line. I think that there are a lot of other defenders that you can rely on that will go that 100, 105 at least. Whereas I think Short's probably around that 95 or so range, or 90 range. I know that he's had a couple of down games, but I generally think he is better in this sort of role that he's in at the moment. And it would have less of a, with Liam Baker in the midfield, what we think is in the midfield, I think it will have less of an impact on Jaden Short compared to when Jaden Short is up, when Liam Baker's in the back line. Tobin Dankervis was absolutely huge, just dominated the ruck against Lloyd Meek for a 96-131 split. Ben Miller, 17 touches, 12 marks, 81 fancy, 97 Supercoach. Jack Graham, 74. Liam Baker, 72, was a little bit high on Liam Baker before this week, as I thought he would be potentially that guy to grab, but it looks like Dylan Moore's probably on both platforms going to be the forward to grab before, or I guess now, he's just better than the rest. Bolter, Broad, Rioli. Bolton again, 68. He's been he bounces around so much, but sort of surprised about him a little bit. Just going to bring up his stats on my phone on his sort of up-down nature in fantasy. He just... average of 71 last 3, 78 last 5. He's gone from round 8 of 42 against Fremantle, 89, 87, 81, 64, 69. I think that just shows the inconsistency. He's had 3 tons in his, 13 games or so? 3 tons in 13 games, a lot of 80 scores, a couple of 60s as well. So yeah, I just would not be... I think he's just way too inconsistent, and I'd be looking at like a Dylan Moore, who's a lot more non-disposal work than Shea Bolton. Kazitsky, 67, he actually moved into the back line at periods when they moved Bolter up forward. He was alright, but he wasn't brilliant. What's just sort of an even stat line for sort of a ruck forward that you would sort of expect, 10 odd touches, a couple of marks, a couple of tackles, and then a couple of hit outs as well as a goal. Ralph Smith, 64. Thomas Dow, 62. Tom Dow butchered the ball. Five clangers, 66% ball use, but yeah, just not, considering the Supercoach split, just wasn't a good game for him. Seth Campbell, 57. He was pretty good. Caden McIntosh, 57. This seems consistent with him. He's one of the lower scoring wingers in the comp. Even though he gets game time, he doesn't really score. Sonsi, 55. Tom Brown, 53. Mansell, 52. Dustin Martin, only 40, so he really surprised us all. Then you had the sub of Kane McAuliffe came on for 17, which sort of sucks that he came on. I mean, it didn't actually impact me in any way, shape, or form, as I don't have him in Supercoach. And yeah, he was fancy. He was like the 23rd scorer, as I had him on the bench, because I didn't expect Jeremy Sharp to go and put up a 15. Now we move over to Hawthorn. I'm going to make this quick. James Sicily, 137. He was amazing, just commanding basically the whole Hawthorn setup. And yeah, he ended up with 15 marks. Jai Newcomb as well, 8 marks and 26 touches for a 99 and 122. He's one that's, I think, really actually grown into the year, and one that could potentially explode in the back half. He could be a pod, but I mean, he's not consistent enough for my liking, given that he's only averaging 83 for the year. But his last 5, 85 in the last 3, 86 in the last 5. And yeah, he's just sort of in and around that marker. So it's a tough one to say that is he going to pop off or not. But I just don't think he's going to be that top echelon. So maybe if he's your 23rd guy or something, but I'm still pretty sure you'll be able to get like a better 23rd. D'Ambrosio, 97, of course, he starts popping off right when everyone says to trade him out, after he gets basically subbed out of games for a couple of weeks in a row, and then he goes off. So these are the tough ones that you can't really tell are coming, and you just sort of almost have to cop them. Josh Weddle is one that I'm interested to track. If he has another good game, then potentially a really cheap 23rd premium, as I'm pretty sure I've got. He could be potentially a 23rd premium as you upgrade for me, I've done all my upgrades except for like a Jeremy Sharp. Potentially, I think he's only, if we look at fantasy, hopefully this doesn't show anything too much. Try and get away from it quickly. Weddle is currently 498k with a 23 break even and on the buy. So you could potentially get him for like 550k the week after or something as a 23rd premium, and upgrade upgrade to like 800k guys or a 750k guy. And yeah, but the only problem is that he is a defender only. Impy, 89. Carl Amon, 87. I think that's because Josh Weddle has owned basically 2 90s, and I think that's it. Amon, 87. Scrimshaw, 81. Dylan Moore, 77. I haven't seen any news about the tackle, so I'm guessing he got off with that. But he does have a bye anyway this week, so it doesn't really matter too much, and he could just be an upgrade target post-bye. But I think he will be one that we stick by, and just because there is no one in that forward line. Like, I was looking at options for Supercoach yesterday, and it was basically Elijah Stewart as that sort of F7 type of guy, just because they didn't have enough money to get like a Dylan Moore or an Isaac Rankin or something like that, which I'm looking into. But yeah, so that's sort of my thoughts there. On Dylan Moore, it's just waiting out to see if he does get a suspension. I don't think he will. And then he will probably be the F6, I'm guessing. Hardwick, 75. Will Day, 72. Giath, 68. Nick Watson, 67. Lloyd Meeks, 66. Ginnivan, McDonald, Nash, Chol, Warple. McKenzie, 54. I'm really surprised that he hasn't kicked on into another gear, as I thought he would be that type of guy. But it seems like he's just not really playing the right, the role that sort of is conducive to scoring, and he's more of an impact player. Kelsey Deer, 35, Luke Bruce, 34, Sam Frost, 26, and Jack Gunston subbed out on a 6 after just over half game time. So that pretty much is the video there, going through Richmond versus Hawthorn. And I guess I will see you guys back here in another hour's time for the Adelaide versus Sydney. The comeback Kings do it yet again. So I'll see you guys in that video in a little bit. Bye, guys.